Okay, welcome everybody to the call tonight. I'm excited to be here. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy, and I am very excited to teach you guys all about Teamzy, how it's going to help you build your business, and make your life so much easier. So much easier. So I'm going to dive in and teach you guys all about it. I also want to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing, which is the system Teamzy is built upon. You just need to know it's an approach to the business that's a little different than is most commonly taught. So some of you who have maybe been familiar with my trainings know that I believe you can build this business without being salesy or icky or cheesy, right? You can do it with an absolute genuine heart and never have to feel like you're doing something disingenuous. So there's an approach to this business. It's actually an approach to any business. So I want to share that with you guys today. So let me just dive in. I've got a little bit of a presentation and we are recording, and I will get you guys the link at the end. Okay. So this is what I want to talk to you about first, how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So there's a few pieces here. I'm going to teach you my system based on relationship marketing, and you're going to be able to do it with Teamzy in less than an hour a day. You can do this whole business in less than an hour a day. You just get focused, block out an hour, I call it a power hour, and you go for it, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. My background, I've been a business coach and consultant for 20 years now, helping people build their business, not in network marketing, just general business owners. About 7 years ago, I fell into network marketing by accident. I was just looking for something to kind of like an additional stream of income. How many of you guys, that's what you're here for too. I just wanted an additional stream of income. I live in an expensive area in Southern California. I wanted a little extra money coming in for my family. And what an incredible opportunity to be able to start a business with no investment. I mean, I work with business owners all day long. They have to put massive amounts of money into their business, and we can start a business on the side for nothing. It's pretty cool. And don't tell me that the starter kit at Xyngular is an investment, because it's a tiny amount, right? And we spend more than that one trip to Costco on the weekend. So you get a business for that. So just to kind of give you some of the backstory, here's a shot of my family. You know, I was working as a business consultant and loving it. I still do it. I still do it kind of just out of the joy of it on the side. But and it was great. You know, I had a great salary. I was doing great. I loved it. The problem was I didn't have any time. I was never around my family. And I told you already, I wanted a little bit more money, but also I wanted more time more than anything. I wanted to be able to be with these people and spend some time with them and create something that would give me some freedom. And so I really started looking at the network marketing opportunity. And I thought, this could be it. Here's one problem. When in the world will I do this? How will I squeeze this into my schedule? I'm already busy. Can you guys relate to that? And so I started looking for, tools that would help me leverage that little bit of time I had so that I could get this done in less than an hour a day and start building something for my family. And long story short, there was really nothing compelling on the market. A lot of people sell stuff to network marketers, but I didn't see anything that would actually help me be more efficient with my time. So I built it. So that's kind of how Teamzy happened. In just about 4.5 years since we launched Teamzy, just to kind of give you guys some history on what's happened. We've had more than 120,000. Actually, I need to update that. It's more than 150,000 now. Network marketers. That's thanks in large part to you guys in your Xyngular family. But more than 150,000 network marketers have used Teamzy now, which is incredibly humbling and amazing for us to know that this little thing that we built has been so popular with people and really changed so many lives. The results for people using Teamzy have been great. Now, I just need to give you guys the little disclaimer. The results for people in Xyngular using Teamzy are redonkulous. Okay, and that's a word, isn't it? Is that a real word? I think we're just gonna play with it as it's a real word. Here's the numbers with Xyngular users. Over 90 days, they're averaging 36 new customers and 14 new team members. Over 90 days, 36 customers, 14 recruits. Now, if you guys were in business for 2020, you know those numbers make sense because it was a little bit of a growth period for Xyngular, right? It was a little bit of a growth period. Pretty awesome, but incredible results for people using Teamzy. Okay, so let's dive back into the training. Let's talk about this really quick, and then I'll show you Teamzy itself. What is relationship marketing? What is relationship marketing? A lot of people use this term now. I've been teaching it 20 years, but now suddenly everyone's using the term relationship marketing. It's all about relationships. Well, I want to kind of clarify what I mean by this. First off, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. They're more important than the sale. It's not about just selling stuff to your friends. Make sense? It's not some abstract feel good concept, relationships. We're just going to hug and hold hands and do business together. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Okay, let me just say that again. Always knowing what to do next. How cool is that? There's no more, am I doing what I need to do to build my business? You just follow the system. You just follow the system. Also, relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay, and that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. That's like the dictionary definition, right? And that's the business we're in. This is our business. Xyngular products are awesome, but that's not our business. Our business is lead generation. It's initiating this interest. Make sense? So I want you guys to think about this just as business owners. You are in the lead generation business. Okay. And so what you have to decide is which system will I use to do that? I'm going to teach you mine. I think it's the best one. It's most fun, most authentic, and it works great. Here's an important principle. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Your duty is not just to make sales or make profits, it's to build relationships. And if you can think about this, your business is to generate leads so that you can build relationships with them. And people are always like, how do I grow my business? And your focus is on the wrong place. The focus is on getting a recruit or getting a new customer instead of the focus on meeting new people to build relationships with. Why is it so important to build relationships? Well, obviously it generates a lot of sales and recruits. You guys saw the numbers I just shared with you. But more importantly, we turn relationships into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates, and that's by investing time and providing outstanding service. What do I mean by an advocate? Here's what I want you guys to understand. If you know 2,000 people working this system, the traditional approach in our business, 2,000 people, 20 of them say yes. The rest of them kind of avoid you now, right? And you build with those 20 and you try to meet new people. With this system, 2,000 people are more excited to talk to you the second time around because you're investing in the relationship. 20 of them still say yes, maybe 40 of them say yes right away. But the other almost 2,000 people, they're starting to become advocates. They're starting to become fans of what you're doing. And they will bring people to you. Even if they never want to join you or they never want to buy products from you, they'll understand what you do passionately and they'll start recommending people to you. Does this make sense? And this is how the business grows like crazy. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. And what really motivated me to build Teamzy and start teaching these principles, the system I'm teaching you tonight in the network marketing industry, was when I was exposed to training, I couldn't believe it. I felt like everything they were telling me to do was the opposite of building trust. I felt icky. I felt like it was disingenuous. I felt like I was setting people up to trick them later. And I didn't want to do that. But here's the good news. When you focus on building trust, it's fun. The work is fun. You don't have to sell or convince people. You can get right to helping them. They trust you. Also, there's no ickiness. You're never going to feel like an icky salesperson. Your friends are never going to feel icky because you're talking to them, right? And finally, you get to go for yes. The idea here is that you get to go for yes. We're not going for no's. We're not stacking up rejection after rejection after rejection. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a wimp. I hate rejection. I can't handle it. And here's the thing I want you guys to know. 20 years as a business coach, I will tell you this. About 97% of people can't handle rejection. The traditional way of building this business is digging for that top 3%. You've heard it like mining for gold or digging for diamonds. Here's what I want you to know though. Everybody can be successful at this business. They just need to use this approach. Make sense? They just need to use this approach. So how do you build trust? How do you actually do it? Let me just teach you really quickly the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. and then we'll dive into Teamzy. But I want you guys to know this, whether or not you use Teamzy, hopefully you will, it's a no-brainer, but you'll have these principles you can apply in your business. So here they are quickly. The first one is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency, the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. All right, let's break these out real quick. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? In other words, people want to do business with friends. Your first job is to build some rapport. Find out what you have in common with people. Build some chemistry. Ask some questions, okay? Social media makes it so easy too, because you can take a quick look and see what you have in common, right? I mean, we've been on this call for just a couple minutes, right? And we found out about Tottie's new puppy, her new dog that she rescued. How cool. So what do you have in common with people? What is it about you that you can relate to or they can relate to you? It's just the first thing you need to do because people want to do business with friends. Number 2, character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, so just notice something. Some of you guys have heard me train on this before, but you need it reinforced. It's not about learning. Just so you guys know, success is not about learning. It's about being reminded. It's about being reminded. So character is not something you have. Character is something you do. You don't get to rest on what you've done in the past and say, I'm a person of character. Character is how you're demonstrating right now how you care for others. Okay. And hopefully you guys, I'm here pouring into you guys. I want you guys to know I'm here caring for you right now. So this is what I want you guys to think about: how you show up in your business, how you take care of your customers, how you communicate with people, down to, how you treat people in the world. How do you drive your car on the highway? Are you showing other people how you care on a regular basis? This is important because your character and how people perceive it is really important to whether or not they will either do business or continue doing business with you. Make sense? And so they need to know you. They need to see that you're caring for others all the time. The other piece of this is they need, as you become successful, you need to keep retelling that original story. This is so important, guys, as your team grows, because people stop relating to you when you're super successful. And I know we want to show them like, hey, I got a new car, or I got the free vacation from Xyngular. This is so cool. And you want to see them and inspire them, but they also need to know how you struggled in the beginning, how if you have a weight loss testimonial, like they need to know that, right? And it's like, you got to constantly let people know that you are relatable, that they can relate to you, that they're just like you and they can do what you've done. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's a lot of people representing Xyngular out there. Why should I choose you? Why should I choose you? Do you know what the heck you're talking about? Can you help me? I mean, first off, are you going to even listen and find out what I need and what my problems are? Or are you one of those people that is just going to start cataloging for me all the products you have and why I need them, right? First, you need to hear me out. What is it that I need? Help me. Show me that you're competent. Oh, I know this is the program I recommend for you. I think this is perfect for your goals. Does this make sense? I need to know this. I'm going to pick you because of these things right here on this page, because I like you, because I believe in your character, and because I think you're competent as a coach and can help me. The second piece of competence is your business. Are you a business person? Like, do I believe you could mentor me if I join your team? And if we go back a long ways, maybe I've seen you with your pants on backwards and seen you doing stuff, right? So you have to now convince me and show me that you're a business person, that you're learning, that you're growing in this way. And it's not just about being competent. Notice the word demonstrate is here. Being competent is part of it, but you got to be demonstrating that you're competent. They need to know. And this is really important. Now, some of you guys have been doing this a while, and it's like, you've got so much confidence in this, it's no big deal. But new people don't have that confidence. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to lean into your upline. Tell people how amazing they are. Tell them how inspired you are by them, how how experienced they are. But also you need to share that journey. Your social media story should be all about how you learned this, how I learned this. Oh, did you guys know this? And people should be seeing you building that confidence as you go. Does that make sense? And that's in both product wise and how it helps people, and business wise, they see you doing things like hitting milestones, winning special prizes and contests, right? So chemistry, character, competence, the first three pieces on how to build trust. There's a little principle behind these that's very important. And then we'll dive into number 4. The principle is this: when somebody wants to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now look at this. Obviously, this is where I got the first 3 points from this principle. Pay attention to this, guys, because these 3 questions, these are heart questions. They don't ask them out loud. They're just heart questions. They feel them. If they are all yes, you've got an advocate, somebody who will bring people to you all day long. They will be loyal to you. If you've got 1 no, this person is never going to do business with you. They will never do business with you. Not only that, they will probably discourage many other people from doing business with you. How many of you guys write reviews on Amazon and Yelp all the time? How many of you just do it when somebody really pisses you off? Right? So this is important to understand. The no is going to be a no start. If they don't think they can trust you, if they don't think you care about them, if they don't think you're good at what you do, it's a non-starter. If they're not sure about any of these, then they'll raise objections. Okay? Which is a good thing. Objections are a good thing, you guys. They're a good thing. That means they're in the conversation with you. They want you to they're giving you an opportunity to overcome their objections and help them start feeling better about these 3 subconscious questions. Does this make sense? So as we focus on building a relationship over time, they're going to know these 3 things are true. That's how this whole system works. Okay, number 4 is consistency. You got to do all this stuff consistently, right? And consistency is the key to success, right? How many of you guys are consistent products of your product? Yeah, you got to be, right? I mean, when people don't use their own products, it's like, why are you bothering, right? Why are you bothering? You need to be a product of your product. If you are representing weight loss, you need to be working on that, right? Some of you guys know my background. I used to be a Beachbody coach, which is kind of similar to what you guys do. And I had a good friend of mine who was an Olympic athlete. And she used to say, it's just harder for me, because I was never overweight like you. And I was like, are you insane? You're an Olympic athlete. People like you have so much authority. Everybody creates this thing about their story. You just got to be consistent. You just got to get on your journey. If you're representing a lifestyle, you got to live it, right? The next piece is you got to share it. You got to show people that you're doing it. You got to get on social media. How many of you guys are good about consistently sharing your journey, what you're going through, what you're learning? Okay, it's important. It's important because there's no business that thrives in secret. Well, not very many. We're going to leave politics aside today. But, you got to be consistent. You got to be a product of your product. You got to be sharing your story. But this is the important piece when it comes to consistency. Well, first of all, let me just share this principle with you, and then I'll dive into this. Here's the principle that I love. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. So being consistent helps you be successful, but it also attracts people to you. People want to be around it. How many of you have been told that you inspire? These people are like, you inspire me. Your posts are so inspiring. What? You're like me, little me. But it's because you're being consistent. You're doing positive things. People see that and they're attracted to it. So being consistent helps you be successful. And it also builds your team, guys. I just want you to know it builds your team. We're going to talk a little bit later about how to retain great distributors when you bring them on. And it's part of it is this. It's this culture of consistency that you create on your team. Okay, it's huge. It's huge. Nobody wants to follow a leader who doesn't walk the talk, right? But here's the important question when it comes to being consistent. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent, let's say, about staying in touch with people as you are about posting on social media? And this is so critical. And I just want you guys to know, when I started building my network marketing business back a few years back, I'd post on social media and I'd get responses, and I was like, this is easy. And once I had all that low-hanging fruit in the basket, I was like, now what do I do? It's all about staying in touch with people. I want you guys to understand relationship building, which is the key to the business, is a contact sport. You've got to be in regular contact with people if you want to build relationships with them. And I know your time is scarce, which is, of course, why we built Teamzy. It's going to make it so easy for you, okay? But you need to understand this. Here's the principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, let me just kind of give you guys a quick example on this really quick. Let me get out of this presentation for a second. And for those of you guys here, make sure your camera's on so I can see you for a quick second. So just really quick, how many of you have ever received from somebody that you care about, like a card or a letter, something that had a handwritten message in it, the kind of message that when you read it, it was like, oh, I love this. And hopefully everybody, right? Hopefully everybody. If not, please put your address in the chat and we will write you a note tonight. It's amazing how deep an impact getting a card or letter from somebody you love can be. I mean, it can be somebody that you live with every day, right? Maybe it's a spouse who tells you they love you every day, but when they write it down in a card, it's like, oh, it's powerful, isn't it? It's powerful. Now, here's another example on the flip side. This is a postcard, a happy birthday postcard. You guys see that? Finn. This is one that I received from my insurance salesperson. Do you guys ever get these from vendors or people you do business with? Something like a happy birthday card or happy Thanksgiving card, right? Is it nice to get these? Yeah. Okay, so going back to the card that you got from a loved one, how many of you guys save those and you've got a special stash somewhere of those special cards that you've saved over the years? Yeah, some of you going way back, right? I mean, my wife and I we have bins in our attic, like for each child, the special things from our children. We've got bins of, it's like, what are we going to do with these? I don't know. Maybe we'll never look at them again, but we all save them. And I've taught this course in Singapore, Australia, like everywhere you can imagine. And everyone saves these cards. This is a human thing. But do we save these things? These little postcards? No, these don't get saved. So here's the question. What's the difference? So bringing you back to this principle, I'm trying to drive this point home, right? This is the old, don't beat the dead horse. I'm going to keep going. This is not valued. We typically throw these away immediately because this required no investment of time. They didn't have to invest any time in this. And it's not personal. This is a bulk mailing that required no investment of time. So we put no value on it. It's nice, kind of like, Make sense? Whereas when somebody takes 2 minutes to write something in a card, we save it for the rest of our lives. Sometimes beyond our lives. Our children will save these things. They're like the one thing that we treasure the most when somebody we love passes, are letters and cards that they received, aren't they? It's amazing. It's amazing how we value that. It's that little investment of time and making it personal. Now, this is really important, you guys, because I'm going to show you Teamzy right now. Teamzy allows you to connect personally with people and invest time in them so they perceive that value, but actually not spend much time doing it. You can be very efficient. Does this make sense? So you can stay in touch with lots of people personally, very efficiently. That's the whole idea here. Now, in our industry, there's a lot of people trying to sell marketing systems, and we have this term called automated marketing. Have you guys ever heard people talking about automated marketing? How cool would it be if you could buy marketing that you didn't have to do anything and it just took care of things for you? Wouldn't that be awesome? How many of you, if that's what I was selling tonight, are like, I'm signing up for Teamzy? But here's what I want you guys to understand. This is what automated marketing feels like. It requires no investment of your time and it's not personal. It's just kind of like, Does it make sense? It's you. People are doing business with you personally, you, not Xyngular, you. Right? Last I checked, there was like 50,000 people they could get Xyngular from. They want to do business with you. Why? It's you. It's the personal relationship. Okay. So remember that principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, you got that? And here's the idea here. This is all great. You guys are still here, so you must like what I'm teaching you, but you got to have a system. You have to have a system to follow. First of all, the system makes your life easier, but it allows you to duplicate this with people coming onto your team. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. You need to know when to contact them. You need to know what you're going to say to them, so you're not staring at the screen trying to think of the perfect message. Who's guilty of that? That's me. I'm a perfectionist. And make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. Right? Obviously, we have the system. It's Teamzy. Let me show it to you really quick. So first off, as I'm pulling up Teamzy, I just want to remind you guys that Teamzy is at Teamzy.com. You can get a 30-day free trial of Teamzy. Okay? Try it for free. Super easy to use. And of course, we've got the endorsement of Xyngular Corporate, which is awesome. And they have also negotiated an amazing price discount for you guys after the 30 days. It's very inexpensive to keep going with it. Okay. So Teamzy.com, if you haven't already started using Teamzy, get your free trial started, start playing around with it. Okay, here we go. This is the first screen from Teamzy. Okay, this is the setup wizard. I've logged into my free trial account and now I'm going to set it up. How many of you guys have ever used a CRM software at work or in some other capacity? Anyone in this group? I had to do it at work and I hated using it. So I put myself in the position of creating a product that I personally hated to use. So we wanted to make Teamzy so easy that nobody could feel like they wanted to bang their head against the computer screen using it. So this setup wizard is designed for me to use, which means it's easy enough for everyone else to use. So you just kind of follow the prompts and set this up. So there's a little video from me. We click next after you've watched it. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is set an income goal. This is pretty cool. You just tell Teamzy how much money you want to be earning, and it will tell you what to do every day to get there. Okay, because this is a system, we can tell you exactly what you need to do. So there's no more wondering, no more guessing, no more worrying. You set it up and you just follow it every day. You do what it says and you'll hit your goals. Okay, so you can see my goal was set at $150,000. So you can slide this down or you can slide this up. What's the annual amount of income you want to be making in your business a year from now? Okay. So my goal was to replace my salary at the time was 150. So that was my goal. And so what it's telling me is that goal, I need to reach out to 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 distributors each day. Okay. And start conversations with those people. And if I can do that consistently 5 days a week, then I'm going to get to that goal. If your goal is bigger, then you're going to have a little bit more work to do. If it's smaller, you're going to have a little less work to do. Make sense? Now, just a quick note, if you're already making great income from your business, this goal will be the difference. So if you're making 100 grand now and you want to make 200 grand, your goal should just be 100 grand. All right. So if you're already making an income, you're going to subtract your current income from your goal. Okay. Otherwise, Teamzy will make you work too hard. I don't want you to work too hard. You should always be able to do this in less than an hour. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's hit continue. So what happened when I hit continue was now Teamzy is set up to that goal. So each one of you will have a custom dashboard based on your goal. The next step here is to get all your contacts into Teamzy. We're going to get your team in here, your customers in here, all your Facebook friends, Instagram followers, wherever you have contacts, we want them in Teamzy. I don't want you guys chasing down sticky notes anymore, pads of paper you can't find, spreadsheets that you thought was a good idea, but you stopped updating 18 months ago. Am I hitting any of you guys? We want it all in one place. You're organized. And Teamzy's cloud-based, which means you always have access to it. It's in your smartphone. It's in your computer, right? You just log in and go. It's always there. So when you meet somebody, you don't have to write their name down on a napkin. You can just pull out your phone and say, oh, let me just add you to my follow-up system. Put them right in Teamzy right there, right then and there. Okay. The other thing that's really cool about this, and I'm going to skip this stage, is that once your contacts are in Teamzy, Teamzy has a magic algorithm that just tells you who to connect with today. You never have to think about it, and make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks, which is pretty cool. Okay, so here's our Teamzy dashboard. All right, and I just wanted to let you know, I don't think I mentioned this, but the best place for you guys to go for a free trial is teamzy.com/Xyngular. Okay. Teamzy.com/Xyngular. So here's my dashboard. I don't have time to show you guys everything in Teamzy, but I want to show you how to do your power hour, how to crush a power hour so you can be super efficient with your time. So once you get all your contacts into Teamzy, What we're going to do first is we're going to give them a rank. So we rank everybody on a 5-star scale. Super easy. You guys are used to that, right? 5-star scale. 5 stars the best. 1 star is not the best. Okay. And what we're ranking is kind of like the level of the relationship you have with this person, like how much they trust you, right? So your 5 stars are going to be your best friends, the closest family, and your 2 stars are going to be people you kind of barely know. Make sense? And so we're going to kind of go through and rank people. This is important so that Teamzy can create your power hour list. Your 5s are going to come up first, then your 4s and your 3s and your 2s and so on. And depending on how many stars you give them, it sets the frequency for how often they come back automatically. See, when you connect with people in Teamzy, guys, you don't have to set follow-ups. They just come back automatically. 5-star people come back every 30 days. 4-star people come back every 60 days. 3-star people come back every 90 days. 2-star people every 120 days. Does this make sense? 1-star people never come into your power hour. They're locked away in Teamzy. If you need to look them up, they're there. Make sense? So once you've got this set up, you never have to think. You just log into Teamzy, you come to Power Hour, and it's going to tell you who to connect with. It's going to tell you who to connect with. Okay. So, Lori, I don't know if we're Facebook friends. You got to send me a quick Facebook request. All right, we'll see. We'll find her right now because I'm going to find her and we'll see. All right. So let's do our Power Hour. Lori's the first one on my Power Hour, right? Where'd it go? Where's Teamzy? Here it is. First person on my Teamzy is Lori. I'm going to message her. Now, this is where I'm like, oh my gosh, what will I say to her? How many of you guys get stuck on how to start a conversation? Yeah. And so, our industry uses scripts. Most of the scripts, though, they're jumping in on the business before we've even had a chance to say hello. I find that turns people off a lot. So what I want to do with Lori is I just want to reach out and say hi. And my only goal is to make her day. Okay. So I want you guys to get in the make someone's day mindset. This is one of our hashtags we use at Teamzy. Hashtag make someone's day mindset. That's all we're doing in a power hour. When you see somebody's name on the power hour, you're just going to make their day. That's it. And by doing that, first of all, it feels awesome. It's super fun, right? Because people will tell you, you just made my day. But it also creates conversations. It creates conversations. And that's what we want to do. So Lori's the first person up. What the heck do I say? Go to my scripts library and get one of my Make Someone's Day scripts. I have a consulting client and she calls them MSDs. I'm like, this sounds like a drug. She's like, yeah, my goal is, 20 MSDs a day, make someone's day. I love that. So look, I'm going to Facebook message her. So I'm going to click on Facebook to get some scripts. So there's a whole bunch of scripts you can use here. I'm just going to grab the first one off the top. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. Super simple. Okay. Some of you guys have probably used these scripts and you're surprised how well they work. That's because they took 20 years to refine. Okay. It's not like I woke up going, here's the script. Nope. Just trying different things. So what I did was I clicked on that copy script button. I'm going to paste it in here so I can edit it. Obviously, her name's not Jane. I always recommend putting their first name in the first message of every conversation you start. Remember, personal connecting is half of that principle. The other half is investing time, personal connecting. So hi, Lori, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. Great. I like the rest of it. I'm not going to change any of it, but I will add a couple of emojis. Okay. I don't know. These are just a couple of emojis to personalize it. I love emojis. Okay, great. Just a little funny story. I called them emoticons until about a month ago. My kids were like, they're emojis, Dad. Like, we know you're old, but can you please just try a little bit? What are you going to do? Let's see if we find you here, Lori. None of these are you, are they? Let's see if I see all. Let's see what we get. Who knew it was such a common name? Okay, well, send me a friend request and then I'll see if you can find me, Eric at Teamzy. We'll pretend we were friends. So what I would do is I would copy this message once I have it the way I want it. Okay. Oh, wait, I just got a message from Lori Brooks. Look at this. Here she is. Great. So now I'm going to send her the message. Okay. Send. I pasted it in there and just sent it. Bam. Of course, if she was my friend already, I would just look her up and send it over to her. And then I log this, just log it, whatever it is, whatever. You can log any kind of communication you can think of. I'm going to log that as a Facebook message and then click log connect. So now look what's happened. It says connect logged. She's gone off my list and my list has slid up. Now, if I go up to the top here on activities, you can see I've got 1 done, 8 left. This little circle is starting to fill in. That's my visual cue that I'm doing some work. Now, the next person on my list is Jay. I'll message her the same way. I just want to make her day. In fact, I'll just use the same script. I'm just going to paste it. It's still on my clipboard. And just change the name. So easy. You guys don't overthink. I just want you guys to know you don't have to invest a lot of time. Investing a little time is enough to make people's day. So look, I've got this one ready to go. We're going to toggle over here real quick. We're going to go to Jay. There she is. Great. Have any of you guys worked with Jay from Teamzy? She's awesome. So look, I'm messaging Jay. Boom, same message, done. I've sent it now to her. Toggle back to Teamzy, log it. I've got 2 done. And I'm just going to work my way down the list. My goal is 9. So I'm just going to go down the list. I'm going to message Amy, then Melissa, then Emily. Are you guys with me? And you don't even have to change that script, honestly, the first time you've gone through the whole list. You just change the name. But you can grab script 2, script 3 from there and change, just change them up a little bit. But don't overthink it, just get them sent. Now, the goal of this power hour is just sending messages. It's not getting in the conversation yet. It's just getting the messages out. So my goal is 9 prospects. I'm just going to go down my list until I've sent 9 messages. Then I'll toggle over to my next list. And when I've done that, when I hit 9, that circle will be all the way blue. And depending on your goal is how many connects it'll take to get to blue. When I'm done, I'm going to go to my customers and I'm going to just message my customers and stay in touch with them. The same thing. So Emerson comes up. I'll go get, maybe you just want to use one of my scripts. Some great scripts in here. Like, here's my favorite one. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. So simple. And I want you guys to know, staying in touch with customers doesn't have to be salesy. I mean, sometimes it can be, but most of the time you just want to stay in touch, right? Here's a great one too. I love this. Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on. So if you've got somebody who's doing great, maybe they lost a few pounds or they've, just some of the things that used to happen with my folks when you get them on nutrition and stuff, like they get off their high blood pressure medication, right? Things like this are amazing. You can congratulate them on the results. By the way, best way to sell ever is congratulate your customers on the results they got from your product. You don't even have to mention the product. You know what I mean? So you can use some of these. I love this one too. This is a great way to just start a conversation with a customer randomly out of the blue. Hi, John, how are you enjoying what's he got? Trim down trio. How are you enjoying it? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Send me an update. Good or bad, send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. These are great. These are just great ways to stay in touch. So same thing, you would copy your script, okay? And then you would paste it in, personalize it, send them the message, log it in Teamzy, okay? Don't overthink it. Now, just really quick, same thing's gonna happen. Now this pink circle is gonna fill in. I'm gonna stay in touch with my customers down my list. I know you guys have a plan for the first several weeks with your customers. After that, you can just drop them in the cycle of Teamzy and stay in touch with them, okay? It's over time. So just real quick on this, because I don't want to belabor the point, but this is really huge. Staying in touch with customers over time, not just in those first few weeks, but over time is a massive part of this business. Okay, just really quick, there's 3 reasons. And honestly, I could train you guys for a week just on this concept, but so I'm just going to give you 5 minutes worth. The first one is staying in touch. That's good service. How many of you guys, when you started your business, you said, I want to have good service? Yeah. So it's good service. But number 2, this is the part I love. When you're in regular contact with your customers over time, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay. So this is a statistical fact. When you're in touch with your customers, just staying in touch, they order more product and they retain longer. So think about all the products you use personally in Xyngular And imagine if all your customers used all those products. That's what happens over time because they want more. Oh, the service is great. What else should I be trying? I used to love getting that question. What else should I be trying? Well, let me tell you. Let me help you with that. What else should you be trying? Well, one of the things that we use in my family is, okay, so staying in touch. They order more, they retain longer. This is a huge part of our business. And I want you guys to know that since we've launched Teamzy and done team trainings like this, we will often see leaders challenge people to do the 30 days of Teamzy. We'll see team volume spike in that month. Why? Because everyone's in touch. The third reason why you need to be in regular contact with your customers is this: the best source of a new customer is your current customer. The best source of a new customer is your current customer. And by extension, the best source of a new team member is your current customer. These people are using your products and loving them. Think about the people you love, your favorite customers. And what do people do when they love something? They talk about it. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Your best customers are telling people about Xyngular already. Now, 82% of people say they make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. So put the math together. Your best customers are talking about Xyngular. 82% of people would buy based on that. Right? It's kind of like, I've had people say, your stuff is just too simplistic, Eric. It's like, it's common sense. It's common sense. The question is, are you getting introduced to those people? Most of you aren't. You have to have an intentional relationship to get those introductions. People will tell them about Xyngular and their friends will be excited about it, but they don't connect the dots. Oh, I should introduce you to Lori. Does this make sense? You have to pull that out of them. It's kind of like, how many of you guys have raised kids or raising kids or ladies, or have raised a husband? And you're like, how was your day? And they say, good. Right? It's people. This is the way your customers are. They don't connect that dot like, oh, I should be introducing people. So you have to be cultivating that relationship. You have to be telling people, Lori, you're doing so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Man, you must be really excited about the results you're getting. I'm sure you've had people notice. I'm sure you've probably had conversations about Xyngular with friends and family. Yeah, of course I have. Great. Well, before I get too busy this month, Lori, is there anybody you care about that needs more information? Because you're my favorite. I want to take care of your people first. So is there anybody you've been talking to that needs more information? I want to make sure I prioritize them first. She's going to say, yeah, I was talking to Belinda. I was talking to Toddy. Perfect. Would you mind introducing me, Lori, to those ladies? And I'll get them some more info. Whatever's easiest, a group text, group Facebook message, whatever's easiest for you. Just throw something like that together and I'll get them some more info. Every single month, you guys should be doing this with customers, but you can't do it if you're not in a regular contact. If you sold me something and you let Xander take care of me, you guys, right? You know what I'm talking about. You guys let Xander take care of me and you haven't been in touch with me. And then out of the blue, you're like, introduce me to your friends. They'll be like, why? Does this make sense? It's in context of service. It's in context of, oh my gosh, it's so great to hear from you again. Making people's day on a regular basis. They're excited to help. They want people to have the same experience they've had. Are you guys with me? But this business builds. I am telling you something right now. Just the customers you have right now, if you never prospected a new person for the rest of your business, you should be able to qualify every month for the forever from the people you have right now, building relationships this way. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to do all the other stuff too, but I want you guys to understand how powerful this is. Does this make sense? Okay, so stay in touch with your customers. Next, the next piece, and this is the piece that I feel like sometimes I'm the only one who teaches on this. It certainly very rarely comes out of corporate trainings, is staying in touch with your team. Because nobody wants to tell you that the attrition rate is 50% a year. Nobody wants to tell you that for every 2 distributors you recruit to your team, 1 will quit within the first year. Right? Disheartening. Don't do that to me, Eric. But it doesn't have to be. That's the average. It doesn't have to be you. I want you guys to understand retention, retaining those people on your team, keeping them in the business long enough so that they can find some success is the key to growing your team over time. And the easiest way to do that, and the most effective way to do that, is by building relationships with them. Because if you guys go out and read, and I can, if you want titles and books that you to read on social science, studying productivity and what motivates people in the workplace, I will tell you that nothing motivates people more than personal relationship. They will stay in this, they will become successful in this business because they love you and because they love this team more than because they want to make money. And so this is why we call it Teamzy, and this is why the third leg of our power hour is texting or messaging our team members and just letting them know we're thinking about them, letting them know that we're here for them, that we care about them, that we're proud of them. Does this make sense? And some of you've got 3 distributors on your teams. You're like, this is a piece of cake, Eric. I can message my 3 friends, my sister and my 2 friends that are on my team. But when you have 40,000 people on your team, right? Let's affirm this for you guys. It becomes more important to build these relationships. So the 3 groups I want you guys building relationships with: prospects, customers, and distributors, right? Prospects are the one is basically everybody you know who's not one of the other 2. Prospects, customers, and distributors. We're building relationships with people and starting conversations with them. That's the first half of our power hour. Now, sending the messages. My example was 19 messages. Just sending out those messages shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. Make sense? You set aside a little time later in the day to respond. Right now, we're just sending messages. The second half of the power hour is this follow-ups list on the right. Okay. Now, remember, you don't have to set follow-ups for people just because you're staying in touch. You set follow-ups for a specific reason. Now, I like to use the follow-ups list as people who I'm sharing the business or products with, as opposed to just making their day. So how does this work? Just really quick, and then we'll do some questions and I'll bless you guys and send you on your way. So we're creating conversations by making people's day, right? And they respond. Great to hear from you. Oh yeah, it's great to hear from you. So now you have a chance to have a conversation. So they've responded. Now have a conversation. Well, tell me what's going on with you. How have you been? Do you have any big plans for the holiday coming up, right? What's going on with you? So things like this. Are you guys with me? And you just have a normal conversation. Pretend you bumped into them at the market, like you're just having a conversation with them. And engage and listen and ask questions and find out what's happening with them. What happens is you're going to get what I call their update, like an update on their life, what they've been doing in their life. And then you're going to share yours. So listen, be interested, and then say, oh, well, here's what I've been doing. Let them know about your kids. Let them know about your new dog. Let them know about, your business. It's totally natural to talk about business in this context. It's not like, hey, I haven't talked to you since high school. Would you like to join my business? And they're like, gag, unfriend. No, this is, you've had a great conversation. They've told you all about their life. Let me tell you what I've been doing. My kids are doing this. I'm doing this. Oh, and I started a new business from home. It's been awesome. It's with a company called Xyngular. You ever heard of them? This is why I'm so excited about it. I'm so passionate about this company. Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Here's what I want you guys to know. Every single person you know will be excited for you when you do it this way. Oh, good for you. That's awesome. Good for you. How's that going? Just let them know. Okay, let them know. And if they're enthusiastic about it, just ask them, hey, yeah, and let me know if you'd like to learn more about it. This is the easiest way to share the business with people, you guys. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Yeah, let me know if you'd like to learn more about it. Most cases, so many people have been approached. They're just kind of over it. So this is just a nice, easy way to let them know what you're doing, get them excited about it. Some of them will say yes. Some of them will say no, not really interested right now. No big deal, because guess what you just did? You planted a seed. And you had a great conversation. They left that conversation feeling invested in. And then they're going to come back in Teamzy in a couple months. You're going to check in again. Over time, those people warm up. The skeptical people warm up. Make sense? But you still uncover the low-hanging fruit as you go. People are like, yeah, I would like to learn more about that. How's that going? So just quick fast forward. Lori, I sent her a message, hi message. She responds. We have a great conversation. She's interested in learning more. What am I going to do in Teamzy? Let me just kind of take you through this process. So she says, yeah, I'd like to learn more. Great. My next goal is to get her on a Zoom or a FaceTime or something, right? So that I can talk to her a little bit more, get her off Messenger, and just find out what she needs, what her goals are, see if I can help her. So let's say we get on this Zoom, and in the Zoom, we're having a great conversation. I'm telling her about Xyngular. I'm presenting the business opportunity to her. How do I put this in Teamzy? So first off, she's not there anymore, right? I've already connected. So she's kind of in the Teamzy cycle, but I can always find somebody by looking them up right here. Okay. And that takes me to their contact record. And this is where I have all of our history, all of the information, everything on there. Great. So I'm going to open the Connect box. And then what we'll do here is I'm going to log this. It was a Zoom. So I'm going to log it as a video chat. I'm going to put all of my notes from the Zoom, typos and everything. Great. And then right here where it says share, can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see it on all your screens, but right here it says share. I'm going to click on that because in this conversation, I'm not just connecting, I'm actually sharing. So I'm going to click on business opportunity. So this is going to now log a business opportunity share in Teamzy. And notice that right here, it turned on my follow-ups. So put it on the follow-ups list. So it defaulted to 2 days, but you can move that to any date in the future. I'm going to put it for tomorrow. Okay. And I'm going to log that. So what happens is while we're talking, I tell her, you know, here, she's like, wow, this is great. I said, perfect. I'm going to send you all the information right now, Lori, everything you need to sign up. I'll check in with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. She says, perfect. I have now put her on my follow-ups list. So you can see on her feed, we logged that Zoom and the follow-up is set for tomorrow. If I go back over to my dashboard and I go over to my follow-ups list now, there she is due for tomorrow. So what this does is it takes her out of the prospects list. She's no longer on my prospects list while she's on my follow-ups list. She can only be on one list at a time. So now she's in my follow-ups list. This reminds me tomorrow when I'm doing my power hour and I connect with prospects, customers, distributors, I come to follow-ups to see who's due and Lori's due. So I'll send her a follow-up message. Okay. Now real quick, let me show you how easy this is. Go to scripts and just choose one that says follow-up. Look, number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. So copy it, get the name right. You don't have to paste in Teamzy first. You can go straight to Messenger, but I have sent the wrong name a few thousand times. So to me, those couple seconds really makes a difference because I always want to send the right name. Okay, great. So she's going to still be here. So we're going to send Lori that message. We're actually sending her this follow-up. Great. Boom. Follow-up sent. Toggle back over here and log it in Teamzy. Now watch what happens when I log this follow-up. Teamzy asks, you know, did that connect complete the follow-up that we had scheduled? Yes, it does. And I'm going to add another one. Let's say we'll follow up now on Saturday. You can leave yourself a note. That's going to be follow-up number 2 on Saturday. Add that follow-up to her record and done. So now she's got a follow-up due Saturday. Okay. Now, just so you guys understand how this is designed. I don't want you guys to have all your customers on the follow-ups list forever because your follow-ups list is going to be like 20,000 people on there and it's going to overwhelm you. Let them just cycle on the customer tab where they're meant to be, right? So once you get them past those first few weeks, take them off the follow-ups list and just let them cycle through the customer tab, connect with them there. The people you're following up with should be your hot leads, the people who have shown interest in the business or interest in the products that you're working to move towards that purchase, right? Or maybe you might also have your people who have recently purchased and you want to be on top of them for a few first few weeks. So you don't want to fill that follow-ups list up with random people. Make sense? It's very strategic. So for those of you with sales training outside of this business, that's what we would call your pipeline. That's your pipeline. This is the sales that are in process. So here's the deal, guys. As soon as you've shared a product with somebody or you've shared a business opportunity with somebody who's interested, they wanted to know that. Now the job is to follow up with them professionally until they purchase. It could be 2 days. It could be a year. Okay. But you're going to follow up with them. Now, you guys, I don't know if you know these statistics, and I know I'm almost at the end of my time. You're going to all turn into pumpkins. But 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. I know. It's no fun. Wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to follow up? But let me just tell you guys, this is human psychology. How many of you have had somebody that's been very interested and then you present to them, they're still very interested. And then they're like, I'm going to sign up tonight. Great. Awesome. I'm so excited. And then you wake up in the morning, you log in to your virtual office and you're like, nothing. So you follow up, no response, follow up again. No response. Follow up. No. Has this happened to you guys? Nothing but crickets. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. This is normal. 80% takes 7 to 10 follow-ups. So most people will not follow up more than 3 or 4 times because they're worried about being annoying. Anybody fall into that camp? Yeah, me too. I told you I hate rejection. So it took me a long time to figure this out, but I finally figured out how to follow up without ever being annoying, right? And so that people will always thank you for doing it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. First of all, my scripts are in Teamzy. There's 10 follow-up scripts. They're numbered 1 through 10. You guys can count to 10, right? So you send follow-up number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and so on. Okay, it's all structured out for you guys, so you won't be. And most people won't respond at all. Zip, nothing till 6 or 7 follow-ups before they even respond. This is normal, but that response will be, "Thank you so much for staying in touch. I'm so sorry I haven't responded." Okay, so just keep going until you get that. It's like clockwork. You guys will be amazed. I get messages all the time. It really works that way. People are pretty much as different as people are. We have so much in common, right? We have so much in common. So here are the 2 principles for following up without being annoying. I'm just going to teach them to you really quick. Principle number 1, don't ask them to do anything. Okay, don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to call. Don't ask them to text. Don't ask them to whatever. Just you're present for them when they're ready, type thing. Number 2, make sure your follow-up message is short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Okay? They need to read the whole thing without opening it. Why? Because they're not going to even open the message in most cases. Why are they not going to open it? Because your message always comes at an inconvenient moment. And they're not going to respond right now because the dog's throwing up on the baby, they're driving their car, whatever, they're cooking. And so they're not going to open your message now because they don't want to look like a jerk for not responding now. So they intend to open it and respond later, and then they don't. Do you guys ever do this? We all do this. So just understanding that this is what people do. What we want to do is make it easy on them. But here's the other piece of this I want you guys to understand. They read every message. We are hardwired and addicted to know what someone's messaging us. So they're going to look at their phone and they're going to look at the message. So if it's short enough, they can read the whole thing without ever opening it, and you have made it through and communicated and connected with them. If it's long, they're like, ugh, now I have to open it. Now they have to decide whether they really want to read your message or not. And you've put a little stress on them, which is where the annoyance starts to come in. Make sense? So keep it short and sweet so they can read the whole thing without opening it. And if you go through and use the follow-ups that I put in Teamzy for you to use, they already follow this. So what we do is you reach out in your power hour, you connect, you make people's day. When people are interested, you get them on another call, you have your conversation just as you're trained to do. And then you put them on your follow-ups list and you keep connecting with those people on the follow-ups list. Hey, just checking in, just staying present like I said I would. Remember, we talked about your goals. I'm excited about helping you with those. So we're going to stay in touch with those people over time. Here's what happens. How do we get to those numbers? 36 new customers. And how many distributors was it? It was like a ridiculous number. 14 new distributors and 36 customers in 90 days. How do we get to those numbers? By consistently doing this. Every single month, people on that follow-ups list will convert. They will sign up. They will convert. Some people will take longer than others, but you just consistently do it. Your power hour, you're just sending messages. And then you get to your follow-ups list, you're just sending messages. That's it. So easy. But nobody falls through the cracks this way. Does it make sense? All right. I'm going to stop talking now because I've probably gone above and beyond on that. But if you guys have any questions, I want you to feel free. Go ahead and unmute your microphone, ask questions. I'll be happy to answer them.
I don't know if Lori's still on there. I know she had to jump on another team call, but I'm just grateful she organized this with us, Eric, and I'm going to be very grateful to share it with our team page. I'm really hoping a lot more of our team will jump on for your free trial because it is very beneficial. I have to be honest, I haven't been totally good at using it lately, but I know when I use it, it's really incredible.
Yeah. Well, you got to do the work to get the results.
Yeah.
But you,
So,
here's the thing, and thank you for, thank you for being transparent. And everyone who uses Teamzy has ups and downs as far as
mhm,
consistency goes, right? It's like nutrition and exercise.
mm.
But if you feel like your hair's on fire busy, you need Teamzy. If you
Oh
feel
yeah,
like no,
100%.
if you feel like nothing's happening in your business, you need Teamzy. So it's there for both. It's there for both extremes. So hopefully you guys will use it. My encouragement to you is, one, make sure you get on a free trial if you're not already on it. Go to teamzy.com/Xyngular. Get on it's free to try out, right? After the free trial, it's more than a third off for Xyngular distributors because corporates
Yeah, it's a great price. It's a
sponsored
great
it.
price.
It's like 60 cents a day. I mean, it is so inexpensive to use. Plus, you guys, it's tax
Mhm.
deduction business expense.
Yeah.
You can even do, if you want to do a year in advance, you can even get an additional couple months off that way. So check it out. It's super affordable. Get your 30-day free trial started. The other thing I highly recommend is that when you're doing it, whether it's a free trial or whether you're just trying to re-engage with your Teamzy account, get a success partner to work with you for 30 days. Say, hey, let's do this together. Let's hold each other accountable to doing this, not just playing around with it, but like going for it for a month. Let's, set some goals together, push each other. And here's what the very simple thing you do with your success partner is when you finish your power hour in Teamzy, you screenshot that dashboard that says you crushed it, you're done for the day 100%. Screenshot that and message it over to your success partner or partners. Maybe a group of 3 is good too. What happens is when they haven't done anything, that's so annoying, but it will spur them to do something, and vice versa. So you will help each other get a lot done. This could be your best month you've ever had in your business with a success partner. Without it, you'll probably go in, look at Teamzy and be like, it's nice. I like the color scheme, right? What we want you guys to do is crush your business in a good way. We want this business singing for you. This industry is not for the 3% of people who are wired with thick skins to go for it. This industry is for everybody. And when you focus on relationship marketing, you can do this. You can create the side income that you want. And it's easy to duplicate with other people because they don't have to be, aliens. They can just be normal people connecting with other normal people. Make sense? So hopefully that was really helpful. And
It was amazing. So you're going to get this link to Lori, correct?
correct.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
I'll get it to
Thank
her
you
tomorrow
so
morning.
much for your time, Eric.
Thanks for having me, everyone. God bless y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
God bless.